If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. I believe the first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. What's up mod squad, MOB back with another Division 2 build breakdown video. Today I bring you my first build of Title Update 12, a build which will make your legendary summit grind so much easier. Today's build, as you saw from the intro clips, is designed to combat and protect you against the strongest and hardest hitting NPCs in the game, from your standard elite NPCs all the way to the hunters on floor 100 of the summit. This build is very similar to a build I released early TU11.1, which blew up and became a very popular build to use while farming the summit on legendary. That build got so much traction in the community that the devs soon after its release made stealth changes to the summit to combat it. I'm sure you guys all remember the changes. They decreased the amount of elite NPCs per floor and upped the aggression of the red and purple NPCs. On top of that, they also made big changes to floor 100, which made it so the EMP went off so often that your skills were useless while inside the room, forcing you to fight the hunters from the doorway of the room. Well, in TU12 that no longer seems to be the case, as you can now enter the room without being EMP'd every 10 seconds, which is bad news for the floor 100 hunters. Today's build will feature a new exotic weapon that comes with Title Update 12, that weapon being the new Scorpio shotgun. You can obtain this weapon by reaching level 55 of the reward track, which is tied to the season pass. Now, I'm not a huge fan of shotguns in PvE, but this shotgun's talent is so strong, I'd be crazy to turn it down. The talent we are talking about is called Septic Shock. Shooting a target applies stacks of venom, which lasts for 10 seconds. Increasing stacks adds more severe debuffs to the target. 1 poison, 3 disorient, 6 shock, 7 target takes additional 20% damage from all sources, stacks no longer increase. Duration of the status effect is based on the percentage of pellets hit on applied shot. Now, the reason this talent is so great is because there are 2 status effects within this weapon's talent that cripple NPCs, that being disorient and shock. While NPCs are under either of these 2 status effects, they cannot shoot you. So not only does this weapon make it easier for you to kill NPCs because they're crippled, but it also helps protect you from them as well, so majorly adding to your build survivability. Now, when it comes to this build survivability, we have 1.8 million base armor and gain 60% bonus armor on kill if we pick up a trophy, which makes us ridiculously tanky. I'm pretty sure we're easily hitting 3 million armor after picking up 2 or 3 trophies. This build also has 4% armor regen thanks to the exotic Momento backpack and one piece Bellstorm armory combo. So we have a good amount of passive healing over time for those times where we get damaged and can't pick up trophies. On top of all that, we also have 72% protection from elites, which is what allows us to tank the damage of the hardest hitting enemies in the game, elite heavies, rogue agents and hunters. In order to reach such high percentage of protection from elites, you'll need improvised gear. Improvised gear has no brand set bonuses or talents, but allows you extra mod slots on your holster, gloves and knee pads, which will help you gain an extra 36% protection from elites. You can craft improvised gear pieces at the crafting station if you have the blueprints. This build survivability doesn't stop there though, because we also have an Artificer Hive fed tier 6 Crusader shield, which reaches 6 million plus health and self heals when damaged, so this build has all kinds of survivability. When it comes to the damage of the build, we won't be insta killing legendary NPCs, but we will be doing enough damage to put them down. This is thanks to a combination of weapon damage and crit damage on top of the Scorpion's 877k base damage. If I'm honest, you could probably switch out a couple blue cores for some red if you wanted to, but I honestly don't think it's needed, as the build does well as long as you land your shots. Now, before we get into a build breakdown, I want to remind you guys to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, as it pushes our videos into the recommended section and in turn helps us grow. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below and I'll reply like I always do. If you're new, subscribe for lots more Division 2 content, and with that said, let's get into the build breakdown. Right guys, starting off with the specialization, we are running a technician. A few reasons for this. One, we get a free skill tier which is going to apply to our Artificer Hive, making that stronger. The second reason is the Artificer Hive, that is going to buff our shield. Looking at a Crusader shield real quick, we have 4.9% shield health on this mod, 4.6% shield health on that mod, and then this mod has 4% damage bonus, which doesn't apply because we're not using the firewall specialization. So here's the Artificer Hive. We're going to go over the skills real quick before we get into the build. As you can see here, we have 8.6% stim efficiency, we have 10% duration, and then we have 4 extra stim charges. So now we have covered the skills. Let's look at our primary weapon, which is the Scorpio exotic shotgun, the new shotgun that has come with TU12. You get this from reaching level 55 of the reward track. So as you can see, 742k base damage. This is the base damage of this weapon when all the buffs are not active. We have 130 RPM with 7 in the magazine. If you reload straight away, you have 8 in the magazine. We have 14.4% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, 10% critical hit damage, and then the talent septic shock. Pause the video if you want to look at that in a little bit more detail, as we've already gone over it. Looking at the attachments on this weapon, we have 10% reload speed on the magazine, we have 10% weapon handling on the grip, we have 10% stability on the muzzle, and then we have the sight that gives us 10% critical hit chance. Moving on to our secondary, I'm using the SIG MPX, my favourite SMG. Not the greatest roll, as you can see, with 12.3% SMG damage, 17% critical hit chance, and 8% critical hit damage. We are using close and personal because this was pretty much a run and gun build. Looking at the attachments on this weapon, we have 5% critical hit damage on the scope, 5% critical hit chance on the laser pointer, and then 10% optimal range on the loud vent brake, and then we have the extra 20 rounds in the magazine. Now moving on to our gear pieces, starting off with our mask, we have the Badger Tough mask giving us 10% shotgun damage, we have 144k armor, 5.2% crit chance, 12% critical hit damage, and then 12% protection from elites via a mod. Our chest piece is the one piece of Bellstorm Armory. Now you don't have to run this brand set. If you want to do a bit more damage, you could switch this out for some Grupo, or if you wanted some crit chance, go for some Seska. So looking at the core attributes, we have 132% armor, 6% critical hit chance, 10.5% critical hit damage, and 12% protection from elites. We are using Intimidate. This is a run and gun build, like I said. While you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. Now moving on to our holster, which is our first piece of improvised gear, we have 170k armor, so we have max armor, 9.6% critical hit damage, we have 6% crit chance, and 12% protection from elites. As you can see on this piece, I did try to recalibrate it with the new recalibration station, and all I'm going to say is, it's a waste of time. Not worth the grind. Moving on to the backpack, and of course it's the Momento, giving us 15% weapon damage, 160k armor, 1 skill tier, giving us a total of 2 skill tiers, and then we have 12% protection from elites. Don't forget guys that these improvised pieces give you the extra mod slot. Some people are still very confused about these. You get these at the crafting station. If you have the blueprints, you can craft them. They come with all different rolls on them, so they're extremely hard to craft and get the exact pieces that you want, but it's worth it in the long run. So going back to the Momento backpack, as you can see, reds give us 5% weapon damage, blues give us 10% bonus armor, and yellows give us 5% skill efficiency. We have 2 yellows on this build, so we'll get 10%. We have 6 blues on this build, so we get 60% bonus armor, and we have 1 red giving us 5% weapon damage. Now, when it comes to the long-term buff, we'll gain 30% weapon damage, 30% skill efficiency, and 3% armor regeneration for 5 minutes. Moving on to our gloves now. Our second piece of improvised gear, we have max armor at 170k, 5.5% critical hit chance, 10.7% critical hit damage, and 12% protection from elites. And then finally our knee pads, max armor again, 4.2% critical hit chance, 10.3% critical hit damage, and 12% protection from elites. Now because this build is lacking in weapon damage, as you can see, because we have 6 blue cores, we've had to make up damage in other ways, that being critical hit damage, which although it's not the highest on this build, it still makes up because it's combined with talents like Intimidate and the Momento backpack's kill confirm talent. So the long term buff giving us 30% weapon damage, and then the Intimidate talent giving us 35%. So that's nice when you have those active, does enough damage to put down those legendary NPCs. So that is pretty much it for the build, guys. We're going to look at the stat sheet now. I'm not going to talk over it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, smash that like button, leave a comment down below. I'll reply like I always do. If you're new, subscribe for lots more Division 2 content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Mob Squad.
Tango this! Targeting hostile!
Say good night. What happened? Get up there, babe.